Yo, welcome back to the channel, all my kings and queens. It's your boy King CJ. What's good, YouTube? I haven't posted in a minute, man. But today, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you guys some information on regional gear. Now, hold on. Let's say if you're a new player like CJ, what is regional gear? What's the difference between regular gear, regional gear, and special costumes? Well, my friend, you come to the right place, because in this video, that is what we are going to bring up for you today, my man. Let's go ahead and get this started, right? So, in this game, we have three different costumes. Obviously, we have regular suits, we have regional gear, and then we have special costumes. Now, that's what we're going to focus on is regional sets today. So, regional sets are sets that boost a certain class. Not a certain skill, but a certain class. For an example, Storm. She has lightning class skill, right? What is a lightning cloud skill? Now, lightning cloud skill is things that are along of her lightning skills, right? So if you have a regular costume, a regular costume usually just buffs one of these. That's what it does. It buffs a certain skill instead of a certain class. Regional goes ahead and gives you a certain class. So everything electric is buffed through that. That's essentially what it is. So I have put together a spreadsheet of what I feel like is the best regional gear for each character. I have put together some good minds for this one, so you can figure out what are the best ones. If you feel like this was helpful, let me know. If you feel like maybe you can argue one is better than the other one, that's fine as well. Just know, as long as the regional gear is highlighted, that means that it's viable for something. If it is blank, then you're just better off going regular gear. So let's go ahead and hop into it and see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and just throw that out right there. Alrighty, so here we go. Let me make this bigger for you guys so you guys can see, like always. Yes. Is that good enough for you guys? That should be great. Alright, so each character I'm gonna try to condense this down into about 2 minutes to explain. So Captain America, of course, Captain America is not the best PvE character. He's mainly PvP, but I value PvE more than PvP at this moment. So for an example, Sakaar, Captain America, that's his hand-to-hand combat. This is actually good for both PvP and PvE. Probably where you're going to see a lot of his damage output in little spurs, but it's only buffs like 2 or 3 skills, if that. Midgardia, this is his biggest damage one. It's not fantastic for PvP because the tracking sucks. And then the one that usually everyone goes for, Dark Domain, it's just basically setting up for the big damage, if you know what I mean. It's just a setup, really. You're just buffing the setup skills. So Hydra and Xandar, I only put those up there for the simple fact that they're assist, and you could probably do some work in Alliance Omega War, maybe just regular Omega War, so that could be helpful to someone. Another thing you guys have to realize, when I made this list, anything that's in red, just think as defensive Pierce kind of being its backup, its holy grail, right? Crit rate is mainly the PvE stat. So like I said, I value PvE more, so I'm gonna value, critical rate over defensive Pierce, because defensive Pierce, you can get it from a plethora of cards, whereas crit rate, you only get it from one card. So let's go ahead and continue. Number 1 set for Captain Marvel, Midgardia. Midgardia, kind of just like Sakaar on Captain America. It's great for both PvP and PvE. It's only marked blue for the simple fact that it has crit rate. And it boosts her photon skill. Her photon skills is kind of her big lasers and things of those natures. So now we have Xandar, Dark Domain. Both are her, I want to say it's not superhero strength. Her other ability. I can't think of it. If I'm having a brain fart, I just put a picture up on the screen whenever I do have that deck. But both of them, they're fantastic. They're good for PvP. Like I said. Then you have the Savage Shadowland. That also boosts her photon, and that gives you, like I said, that's mainly her PvE set. So, New Stark City. Unlike every other character, her ultimate skill is pretty vital to the character. So maybe it also has defensive pierce as well. So what I'm thinking is, if you get New Stark City, maybe try a spammy, alt build with her. You just never know. Give it a try. We're going right into this now. Black Widow is a special case, right? Because her Savage Shadowland, I'm gonna have to put pictures of this as well, from the simple fact that I can't remember off the top of my head. But the way it works is, I honestly think Midgardia is probably going to be a better set than Savage Shadowland. But the thing is Savage Shadowland, it has, I'm pretty sure, I think Midgardia is what, attack crit damage, something like that, and Savage Shadowland has like crit damage and supervillain damage. So that's kind of why I'm putting Savage ahead of it, mainly because of that supervillain damage. And unless you get lucky rolling up your cards and you get the supervillain damage stat, then it's kind of something like 2 other cards that's going to give you like supervillain damage, if I'm thinking right. Maybe more than that, but you never know. Sakaar and Hydra, those both are espionage weapons, though, are purely PvP, and it's fantastic for it. Xandarth, it's there. Like, this Xandarth and Dark Domain in New York City, they're there. They're more like close quarter combat kind of things. I think this one had crit rate or crit damage, something like that, and this one had defensive pierce. So, like I said, PvP with it. New Stark City for her. Again, she actually utilizes her ult. So, and I think it also comes with, I think it came with crit damage. I think that's what hers came from. So, if you have that New Stark City and you can go ahead and use it in PvE, I'll go ahead and just give it a try. See how you like it before you try regular gear. So, moving on to Doctor Strange. Xandarth. Now, his Xandarth is actually good for PvP and PvE, honestly. Savage Shadowland, only good for PvE. I think this one gives him defensive pierce and supervillain decrease. Honestly, I only have it there because of the defensive pierce. He doesn't really get it from anything else. That's what kind of boosts us up here. Hydra, again, like, honestly, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Maybe let's do this. Okay, I love what you guys. 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 Because I feel like, Jesus, let's do this. Let's do this. So we're gonna put Savage there. Yeah, see, and then we're gonna go ahead and for 2 we're gonna put Hydra here. I'm gonna level with you players, okay? So I'm gonna level with you. These 2 right here can work for both PvE and PvP. Honestly, they really can. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. PvE, this is more has supervillain decrease. Doesn't really matter. It's PvE. I wouldn't really use it that much. These 2 are more than more or less so. They are support classes. These 2 right here. One is more support for PvP because of the things that it buffs, and one is more of a support for PvE because, again, the things that it buffs. This one also has decoys on it. Some summons that can pull aggro, so that's fantastic for Alliance War, Omega Wars. You just never know. All right, Iron Man. Now here goes with Iron Man. I put these 4 in the same category. I don't honestly feel like either one is better than the other. Here's the thing. Midgardia, for sure. That is the one that can work for all game modes. Its critical rate, it's his missiles. His missiles are good for PvE and PvP. Xandarth, this is just a repulsor. It's more of just strictly, it has crit rate and it's repulsor. So in my opinion, I think this one is going to be strictly PvE for the simple fact that it has very, very high target, one single target damage. Hydra, same thing as Midgardia, rockets, but its defensive pierce. Now this one right here, it can be worked on in PvP and PvE because of the high single target damage and the defensive pierce that can maybe help you out in PvP. Savage Shadowland, that has repulsors as well, attack and supervillain damage. So good if you get it. And you just need something on Iron Man, I can recommend you putting on this and you will see some good results. I do want to put a stipulation with everything that I'm saying here, guys. It all depends on your RNG, okay? If your RNG allows you to pull the right stats and just use it, I'm gonna let you guys know when I get there. Hydra and Xandarth, basically on the same levels. They're just, one is defensive pierce and one is critical rate. That's really all that is. New Stark City, just like Captain Marvel, she takes a very big jump in her New Stark City gear. It's defensive pierce, but I feel like her ult is mainly a PvP thing than it is a PvE thing. So maybe if you can find a spammy build that works with the New Stark City, go ahead for that. Now Sakaar, this is kind of her demons that she summons. That's more of a PvE thing. It can work in PvP as well to pull aggro. Wouldn't do that. Now, here's the thing. The reason that I have this one right here blank, because I don't really think this is going to be good at all. I don't think her dark magic is going to be good at all in PvE and PvP. So I would highly recommend not using it. But for safety measures, I would say if you do get it, it is number 5 in my book. But I would recommend number 6. This is the only character that's kind of going to break the mold, because the way dark magic works, you're going to have like 2 of those skill and rotations, especially in PvE contact. So if you're going to go the dark magic route to go ahead and get your ult, then it's probably best for you to run this one because of the stats that it gives you. And you're just going to use the setup skills anyway. This is the setup that I'm talking about with Captain America. I mean, his DD. You're really just buffing the setup skills. You're not buffing none of the skills that give you that big oomph, like that big pop. So that's where that comes from. Now Sakaar is good for both PvE and PvP. Again, just like everybody else, number 1 is basically good for all game modes in my opinion. Xandarth, it's mainly a PvP thing, but you can use it in the PvE as well. But it just comes with more of the stimulations of, spider combat. Spider combats have increased certain amount of skills that you equipped on the spider combat. That's really all that is. Savage Shadowland, PvE, it has web shooter, and the web shooters that it comes with it also comes with critical rate and supervillain damage. So if you don't have these 2 right here, you have Savage Shadowland, put it on him. I don't highly recommend it. I mean, if you don't care about dodge and you just want to go out full out attack, highly recommend it. His Hydra is more of attack and defense. It doesn't give dodge, and it's his web shooters. This is more of a PvP thing. I see people use it all the time. I don't know why, because we have defensive pierce, but it's there. Definitely have it 4th. Now, Star-Lord. So Sakaar definitely can be used in PvP and PvE. However, I think it's more of a PvE kind of thing because it has the critical rate, it's flame damage, it's the best one he got. Savage Shadowland, that is 2nd because that one comes with defense and supervillain damage in its flame damage. So, and Midgardia, I think, is probably the 3rd best, only because of the fact that his chill class is mainly for PvP. So if you get chill damage and you want to do, PvP with Star-Lord, then maybe give it a try. I hear that it's probably not good, honestly. Like, everything after these two is pretty much the slight recommendations, but not really recommending it. It's just something that's useful. His DD skills, this one is like lightning, and I think lightning and defense, lightning and something else, critical rate, critical damage, one of those. His lightnings is basically PvE, and his AoE attacks. So if you do happen to pull those, you can go ahead and put on a Star-Lord. I would highly recommend not doing that, but if you love playing your Star-Lord and that's where the RNG gets you, then go ahead and equip that. Storm, Hydra actually can work for both PvE and PvP. That's the same thing with her Xandarth, but the difference is her Hydra, it gives her critical rate, and her Xandarth gives her defensive pierce. Now Sakaar is more of her ice builds. Can it be viable? Yes, it can be viable. People make it work, definitely, but it's something that you put on if you absolutely have to. If not, you're better off putting it somewhere else. So this is kind of the list that I have put together. If you guys feel like maybe I'm underrating something, or maybe you've had luck with one of these more than the other, just let me know down below. I will keep this list up, and I will be putting a link down for this down below, so that way you guys can come in here and just do your own little research and look at it. But like I said, man, disclaimer to this: this is not a be all end all list, okay? It all depends on what your RNG gives you. Even though I told you guys Hydra gives my Storm critical rate, 11% critical rate on her base uniform, and this gives me 11% defensive pierce on my base. But when I equip my Xandarth, I have 12% more critical rate on my Storm than when I do on my Hydra, and that's because my Xandarth chest piece rolled like 4 crit rates. So don't look at this and then just be like, oh, okay, I have for Iron Man. Don't look at this and then just be like, oh, I have Midgard, so I'm automatically gonna have more crit rate than I am on my Hydra. But it just doesn't work that way sometimes. RNG cannot be in favor, or it can't be in your favor. So just use this as a little stepping stone, as if I get this, I'm okay with it. Or if I get this, since it's, transmutation, maybe I can move it over to another character who would be best for. Those kinds of things. So, if you like this, leave a like, man. And, for another banger year of this game, let's keep it going, man. We're going to keep it positive. So, bless up, everybody. I'll see you next time. Peace.